Welcome to the Carr and Seguin Show, hosted by Devon Carr and Paul Seguin, where two Michiganders dive into real estate, outdoors, community building, and everything in between. Welcome!
What's happening?
What's up, dude?
Double welcome.
I do that every time. I do.
Well, it's new.
It is new. We're still getting used to this introduction that we have at the beginning.
I mean, I feel like the experts of the podcast, like during that time period, they get super psyched. I mean, they just, I don't know what they do, but I'm sure they're
like bouncing in my head, ready to like, here we go. Here's another show.
Right.
Let's roll.
I got to be quiet for this little bit.
And that doesn't fit well with me.
No, but I mean, we talked about it a couple shows ago about how wonderful golf outing that we were able to be a part of. And so, as we said, we're going to reach out to the Dave Fons Memorial Fund and see if we can't get one of the board members on the show to talk about it.
And we got lucky.
We did get lucky.
We hit the jackpot.
I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys were gracious enough to join us on our show. So today we have a lovely guest, Courtney Sprague.
Yep, there you go.
Right?
There you go.
I knew I was going to butcher it, even asked you like 3 times. But from the Dave Fons Memorial Fund. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. This is a great opportunity, and we're really excited to be here. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys put on just a wonderful outing, really. I mean, we were talking about beforehand about all the people that were there, and I mean, it was just a great group of people.
Packed house.
Yeah. And you really couldn't have, I mean, the way the summer's been, you could not have picked a more beautiful day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, with the no humidity, I mean, it was just wonderful.
I think we all repeated it like 5 times that day.
Yeah. Right. God,
like, it's just a beautiful day.
Yeah. We actually say my dad always has a part in that because we've had beautiful weather, like perfect, not too hot, not too cold. I mean, sun, but not too much sun. I mean, it's always picture perfect. And we always say my dad has a part in that every year to make sure.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So we don't stress too much about the weather.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes you, when you lost your 12th ball, it's like, it's nice.
Cover over the golf course for that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. No, absolutely.
No, it's a golf outing day.
Right.
Yep.
It's going to be perfect.
So let's go into, for people that haven't heard about your organization, what is the Dave Fons Memorial Fund?
So the Dave Fons Memorial Fund is a nonprofit organization that promotes truck safety. So to give you a little bit of a backstory about how we formed, my dad, Dave Fons, was in Fort Myers, Florida, visiting my brother and his family. He had a 6-month-old son and his other son and his wife, and my parents had just built a condo, and so they were down in Florida. My mom was up here, but my dad took a little trip before the holidays, and he was visiting my brother, and they were going around as they normally did on vacation, looking at crushers, concrete plants, that kind of thing. My dad loved to do that on vacation.
You know, you got to love construction.
Yeah.
When you're down in Florida looking at crushers.
Yep. I mean, no matter where he was on vacation, he always found something to look at like that. We always said that diesel like ran through his veins. Like, I mean, he loved it. And so my brother and him were out looking at crushers on a Sunday, and my brother had to get back to his family and said, we'll go look at the rest of these crushers another day, you know?
Yeah.
And my dad just couldn't wait. So Monday rolled around, and he decided, I'm just going to go look at it by myself. And on the way there, he was making a left-hand turn, and a fully loaded dump truck ran a red light. And hit my dad's compact rental car, and he died on impact, which was it took us obviously all by surprise, as any traffic, crash like that does. But the irony was that my dad did that for a living his whole life. I mean, he had always run heavy equipment, even as a young kid, and he ran heavy equipment until he started his own business. He owned his own business with his brothers for many years. He had just recently sold his business a couple years prior to his death and bought a gravel pit and was working on that. I mean, he just could not stay out of the industry. He could not retire, really. He just loved it. And my brother lived in Florida and was in that line of work as well. So the fact that my dad, was killed by a fully loaded dump truck just kind of took us all by surprise.
Right.
Obviously, and in the days following his death, we were all just kind of reeling, trying to make, meaning of his death.
Absolutely.
And I think it was like maybe 3-4 days after we all decided, okay, we're going to do something about this. We're going to find meaning in this, and we're going to use the connections we have, and we're going to do something. So we formed this organization to promote truck safety and just awareness about the risks that trucks pose on the road. Even though my dad was in the industry his whole life and knew about that, I mean, he was still killed by a truck, so it can really happen to anyone. We all, every day that we go drive our car, we share the roads with trucks that pose huge risks, so we decided to form the organization, and we've really had a lot of success in getting, out there and already educating people about it. So that's what we do.
Okay.
Which I think, by the way, is just like super inspiring, by the way. Like the whole story behind you guys starting this memorial fund. I mean, you guys took something that could be just devastating, which it was.
Yeah.
But turned it into something that is now benefiting and helping so many people. I mean, I think that is just in life, right? When stuff like that happens or comes along in your life, it could either just crush you in a certain way. I'm sure there's still an impact on all of your family's lives to every day losing him, but you've now taken this event and said, okay, what can we do to not only hopefully prevent this from happening to anyone else, but also educating. Right. And I think that's I just wanted to just butt in and say, kind of kudos to you guys to just doing this and starting this fund. But obviously that was what I think was just super catching for us when Devon signed us up to plan your guys' outing for the first time, but when we were just, I was really afterwards when we were in the dinner and we're just kind of sitting there like, dude, we need to reach out to these guys and like have them on our show. Like this is just an incredible story. And reading your guys' like the stuff on the table that you guys had, and then obviously you guys shared a little bit at the outing. It was like, I don't know, I was just, it's moving, but it's also encouraging to, I think, just in a broad sense of like, sometimes life can throw you a curve, but it's how you react from it that makes the biggest difference.
Right. And I mean, everyone deals with their grief, differently. For us, it just helped us kind of get out of those dark days.
Oh, certainly.
To think that we could make some sort of meaning out of this and help other people. And I mean, everyone shares the roads with trucks, but most people don't think about this. I know I didn't before my dad's death, and I grew up around, heavy equipment and trucks. And, my dad always had a sticker on the back of his truck that said road workers, give them a break, And it was like, come on, Dad, embarrassing.
But it's got a purpose.
But now, that you have a family, you're out there driving your kids, every time I go past a truck, I get a little nervous now,
Right.
It's good to raise awareness, not to make people scared to drive with trucks, but to know that trucks, have different needs, people often treat them like cars, and they're not cars.
Right,
There's a lot of differences in terms of staying safe around trucks. So
they can't stop as quick as a car.
Nope.
Especially fully loaded.
Or turn.
Yeah.
It's not a 2-ton little truck.
Right.
Car.
The visibility is different for trucks. They can't see you like a car would,
Right.
So we just find that it's important for, obviously to educate truck drivers, to be safer drivers, but also everyone else, we're all sharing the road with trucks. So.
Right.
I thought it was interesting. You sent us some notes, and I was reviewing this kind of earlier today, and it's crazy that you put in your truck crash fatalities continue to increase each year. In fact, fatalities increased 48% between 2009 and 2019. More than 5,000 people lost their lives and more than 150,000 people sustained injuries due to large truck collisions in 2019. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. And you'd think that, oh, wow, safety technology is getting better. These trucks must be safer on the road. But really, it's not the case. A few things that they say contribute to this is, one, we're all ordering online. So there's a lot of trucks delivering stuff. There's a lot more traffic with trucks. Mm-hmm. Two, cell phones, are a big thing, not only for, truck drivers, which hopefully they're not talking on their cell phones, but other drivers not being, very attentive to the road.
Right, because they could potentially be putting these trucks into the, pushing them aside or cutting them off, and then they're veering and causing fatality, accidents.
Yeah. I have somebody I work with that told me the other day her husband is a Canadian resident, and she goes up there and they come down here. And she told me that if they get caught even looking, if they get caught by the police with their cell phone, it's the equivalent of a DUI here.
Really? I mean they've done studies to show that you're just as distracted and non-attentive on your cell phone as you are if you're drunk. So.
Right. Yeah, no, I thought it was very interesting just because, a DUI in Canada is a federal offense too. So, they're really
strict.
for looking at the cell phone.
Yeah. Well,
and we have a lot of hands-free options, which there's really no excuse not to use them,
Yeah. It reads your text for you. Yeah.
It replies for you. Doesn't have the voice command.
Right.
Just Bluetooth it and hit a button.
Right.
You don't got to be just looking down.
Yeah. So,
or just wait.
Those things, but people still aren't using them. People are still distracted driving.
Right.
Things still are bad on the roads. Another issue that we have are, even though we have the technology, we have automatic braking for trucks. There's underride technology. There's all kinds of safety technology, but trucks don't have it because a lot of trucks are older, and they go through these loopholes of not needing them. And as long as the truck runs, you can drive it on the road.
Right.
With grandfathered in a way.
Yeah, with pretty minimal safety inspections. So that's a huge issue as well. Because we have the safety technology there, but
why we're not implementing it into trucks.
How do we mandate it? That's a piece of work that we do too, is working with, federal organizations like the Institute for Safer Trucking, their group of individuals in Washington, D.C. that kind of help with the laws, and we, have a lot of construction contacts as well. So we're trying to find balance. How do we make trucking safer, but also don't ruin small business, because how much is all this going to cost?
Putting high regulations on stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of have that advantage of being kind of a middleman in there, you know what I mean? Because my dad had so many construction contacts. My brother works in the construction industry. So, you have to make safety attainable for people. You can't make it so high up, perfect.
Right, that just shuts them down.
That they're going to completely fight against it. You have to make it attainable. You have to take small steps, but small steps can make huge difference too. So,
right.
I
think it's just, like you said, if trucks don't have the safety features that are available, come on. Right. You could just work around it in a way. We need to implement this. Okay, well, it's going to cost me this. Okay, well, then let's just try to figure out how do we at least incorporate into trucks.
Right.
There's a lot of good technology out there that can be used.
And it's really, we're finding it's not super expensive. Like an automatic braking system on a truck is $500 per truck, which seems very small. I know when you have a fleet of many trucks, maybe it adds up.
Yeah, right.
But, but you got to kind of do the cost benefit analysis of these things.
Absolutely.
And automatic braking is something that's been shown to be hugely safer for trucks, you know? And that's one that we kind of stand behind because my dad was killed by a truck not being able to stop. He was traveling probably too fast, trying to get to the pit to get to drop off one more load so he could go fill up again and get more money, you know?
Right.
And he couldn't stop. he went around other cars that were already stopped. You know, he wasn't able to. So, you know, those kinds of things seem like if he had that $500 system on his truck, maybe my dad would still be here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I was just about to say $500 to a life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty minimum.
Yeah. But it's, you know, if they've never experienced a crash,
They don't see the value.
it's one of those things
Like
that
you
people,
said, too, if you got, you know, who knows how many trucks a typical fleet has.
Yep.
It could get costly.
It adds up.
But again, it's lives.
Yeah. And I mean, before we experienced this, it wasn't something I thought about either, and probably would have been like,
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Sometimes it takes seeing it,
Absolutely.
you know, to really find the value in something.
Correct.
So.
Right. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about it before the show too, about the golf outing that we was kind of, because I went to school with Michael Fons, and so is my brother. He was there too. And that's how I found about the golf outing. And the amount of support that you guys have from, I mean, huge construction companies in the industry.
Big names.
I mean, huge. And I mean, it was just a fantastic outing. And we're very bummed that we can't make your
fishing
tournament.
I'm like, let's go to Florida.
I know.
Dude.
Paul said they got a fishing one too. I said, I wish I could go
next year.
I know.
You know,
we gotta
planning
put it on
now.
our calendar. I know.
And you don't even have to have experience as a fisher. I mean, we have captains. You can get a captain. You know, they get the boat. They take it.
You're
all
talking
the good.
to a past fly fishing guide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'd still hire somebody. Oh yeah. They always say the only promotion a guide gets is moving to the front of the boat.
Oh yeah.
Yep. It's the only promotion you get.
But I mean, we have lots of guys that don't even fish that do great because they get a good guide, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such a great time. We come from a big fishing family. Now, my dad, never a big fisher. I mean, he was not into it at all. I think I've seen him maybe hold like 2 fish in his entire life. But his dad was a huge fisherman.
No way.
Had a boat up in Port Austin and down in Florida. I mean, he had a condo on the intercoastals, and he went fishing every day down there after he retired. I mean, he was huge into fishing. And my brother, both my brothers and I and my mom were huge fishers growing up, you know? And so my brother lives in Fort Myers, fishes all the time. I mean, every time he can get out there, he still has my grandpa's boat.
No way.
Wow.
We constantly are like, you need a new boat. It's like this tiny, outdated boat that goes through gas.
Hey, if it brings in the fish,
Yeah.
who cares, right?
He's very cheap, so he doesn't want to get a new boat. So.
It's got
It
good
works.
mojo.
Frugal.
Right, frugal is a better word. Like my dad was. But yeah, so he's a huge fisher down there. And so, and another board member, Andy DeCrane, who is my brother's best friend, also works for Ajax down there in Florida and was like a son to my dad. He fishes as well. So they kind of joined forces and put this together, and it will be our second annual. It's going on September 17th and 18th in Cape Coral, Florida at the Westin at Marina Village. And we already have, gosh, I don't know how many boats we have, so don't quote me, but we have lots of sponsors. I mean, even more anglers than we did last year. It's inshore and offshore, so we have a number of teams in both. And it's going to be a great time. It was a great time last year. People were just so enthused about it. We're very excited. So
how's the tournament done? Is it like size fish, most fish?
It's
biggest
total
fish?
inches, and there's 3 categories of fish. I don't know them off the top of my head, but yes, it's total inches.
Okay.
From all your catches?
Yeah, from the different categories.
Species time?
Yep.
You got
yeah, there's a time that they go off, and a time that all the boats have to be back in.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, it's there's top 3 prizes. It's we have raffles like we did at the golf outing. We have a captain's dinner the night before with the meeting of all the captains. I mean, it's really well thought out, well planned. Everyone
so you get
has
to pick
such
your
a great
captain?
Time. They assign them. You pay for the captain, but we have like a service that gives us all the captains, and then they're assigned to the different teams. So it's kind of luck of the draw. But we like to say
I know
they're all
though,
good.
right? So
Right. Well, they're all good.
Yeah.
Slip in there.
Right.
Pass me
Yeah.
a little money, I'll get you a good captain.
Yeah. Right.
Put it to the fund.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah,
There's another fundraiser. You can pay, right?
to pay for the best captain. We
Pick
should
your
do
captain.
something.
There's another fundraiser right there. See? Picking up on new little tricks.
But yeah, we're so excited. We think it's going to be another great success. So next year, you guys have to come down. Last year it was in Bradenton.
Okay.
But this year we decided to do it in my brother's known water. So,
so he's gonna win.
Yeah, that's naturally
he
what I
doesn't
heard.
even
Yeah.
fish. Yeah, he doesn't even fish in it. He likes to schmooze too much. He likes to talk to everyone. He'd probably get too serious if he was competing. So we let him schmooze. So.
All right.
Now, are you guys? Obviously, we are not done with this one yet. But are you planning on changing it? Like, kind of picking new spots?
Yeah,
or?
we'll see how it goes. We're really excited about this particular location. It's a beautiful place to have it, venue.
Oh, yeah.
And we're real excited. So we'll see how the fishing is. That will probably determine it for my brother. If the fishing's good, we like to show people a good time.
Right, yep.
No one has a good time if they're not catching fish,
right.
right? So
All you gotta say is Florida for me.
yeah.
I'm there.
Exactly. Well,
That's
it is
it.
hurricane season though, so we got to make sure my dad's watching down.
Right, yeah,
There you
Well,
go.
keep all the hurricanes
Just like you
away.
do on the golf, bring us the good weather in Florida.
It's a nice day.
Yeah.
One day
Exactly.
is all we need.
But yes, plan for next year.
Right.
You guys definitely have to do that.
I'm spotting Annie. So you say Florida fish, let's go.
Right.
I just got to get him more on board. We could even do a show down there.
Well, Mac would probably be older, so it'd be a little bit easier to leave him with my wife.
He can fish now.
Oh yeah, we do have a junior division.
Yeah, bring a Spider-Man
We
pole
can make
or
it a whole
whatever it is.
family trip,
Yeah,
man.
right.
Yeah.
We could bring the wives and the kids down, and it's Florida.
Right.
Come on.
Just before
Fun
Halloween.
for
Fort Myers,
all.
right?
It's
I know.
very family friendly. And that's another thing we really do. We have lots of family, kids,
Right.
everything. We try to make all our events very family friendly. We like everyone to be involved. So, kids are welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Families
Right.
are welcome.
Yeah.
Bring wife, kids. Good time for all.
It is. It's always fun when you can incorporate the family into
Right,
it. Makes
yeah.
it a little easier
Yeah.
to do things, right?
The negotiation process is much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids will love it. You'll love it too, sweetie. Trust me.
So from these events, though, what are some of the things that you guys are doing? Obviously, with the events are fundraisers, and so just tell us a little bit about what the Dave Fons fund is doing through these events.
Yeah, so a big area that our funds go to is scholarships. So we have two $6,000 scholarships, and those are awarded through MITA, Michigan Infrastructure Transportation Association. They do a scholarship to a college-age student, usually going into road building.
Yeah.
And so they award that. And then FTBA, the Florida Transportation Builders Association, also do a scholarship of $6,000 to college age student going into
Nice.
road building as well.
Okay.
So those are
fat scholarship.
yeah, those are awarded through those organizations. They vet the applicants and everything for us. And then we are also now offering a scholarship for veterans that are interested in going into trucking school.
That's sweet.
Yeah, very nice.
So that helps cover even just application fees or, all the fees associated with
get 'em started.
attending it. So scholarships are a big deal for us because we find that when people get formal education, either in construction, road building, trucking, that they get more safety training than they would normally get just like on the job training. So they're trained by, people certified in OSHA standards, So education is a big piece for us because we want people to be knowledgeable about how to be safe drivers, safe operators, that kind of thing. Truck crashes are huge in like work zone crashes. So they comprise like 1 in 5 fatalities in work zones. So
1 in 3.
1 in 3. Yeah.
Even
so
worse.
even more.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a huge piece for us to educate, having people get formal safety education. So we want to facilitate that as much as possible. So that's a big piece of where our funds go. We also have Billboard campaigns. So some of you may have seen, there have been some in the Metro Detroit area. Yeah. I know there was one on 96 for a while, but they kind of rotate through the Metro Detroit area quarterly. So it's a year-long kind of billboard, but they move the location every 3 months. So, and then we also have a year-long Billboard campaign in Florida as well. So, nice. So those are they change every year, but they're pretty much to remind people, just to share the road safely with trucks, that there's a risk that trucks have on the roads, and pay attention, stay aware. So, so that's another piece. And we also are getting into doing more like safety trainings. So since we have so many construction like contacts, we have a lot of people come to us and say, okay, we're having a safety meeting or our yearly kind of like training. Can we get a safety educator to come in? Nice. Which is great because maybe this isn't something that they normally do. So in the past, we've worked with the Michigan Center for Truck Safety, which I'm going to plug them here because they are a great organization.
Plug away.
Yep.
So many people do not know they even exist, but they are a wonderful organization that are paid for by your tabs when you like pay for your license tabs.
Okay.
A portion of that goes into fund them. And basically, they're an organization that trains truck drivers to operate safely. Now, they're not like a truck school or anything. Any company that manages trucks or, operate trucks can call them, get free trainings. They even have like a simulator, a truck simulator. Okay. They can answer any questions. I mean, the one of the men that we work with there, Charlie Colton, I mean, he is a wealth of information. He used to work for the Michigan State Police, doing like commercial vehicle enforcement. And he knows so much. And he'll answer. He loves to share his knowledge with you. So we like to plug them so that people know that they exist. But we just did like an online safety summit in April with him. And we had a lot of people from even Florida, Michigan, in the trucking industry, a lot of construction industry, but that found it hugely helpful. You know what I mean? Just he did a couple of different topics, not too comprehensive, but they found it super helpful. And now they know he exists. So when they have a question about safety or violations or that kind of thing, they can call him, and he's a wealth of information. So we really like to do, offer people that as well, facilitate these trainings, connect people that we know in the truck safety industry with people who need it, so we're kind of a middleman on that.
Yep.
So that's where most of our funds go. We also do some victim support. So, if we hear about a tragic truck crash, we always like to donate to GoFundMe's, to help families of either, truck crash survivors or maybe people that were handicapped by an accident, that kind of thing. So, so we're trying to do a lot of good with that.
I mean, a lot of great. Jeez, oh, Pete.
$6,000 scholarship ain't no little money.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, typical are like 1,000, right?
Two of them.
Here's your books.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and the college prices keep going up.
I
so
know.
we might have to keep raising that, to,
Hey, 6,000
to really
is wonderful.
substantially help them. And we've had such great, people get that scholarship. So, I mean, they'll come find us. We go to like MIDA's, they have like an annual conference, so we go set up a table. Well, this was pre-pandemic, I guess. Now they haven't had it in a couple of years, but the last time they had it, we set up a table, and our first recipient of the scholarship, came up, introduced himself. It was so great.
Right,
He's
yeah.
a great kid.
Right.
Still he's attending Ferris State in their construction management program, which is
Bulldogs.
Yep, I went to
All
Ferris.
right.
Yeah.
That's where my brother Garrett graduated from, and Andy DeCrane graduated from in the construction management
my
program
brother
there.
graduated from there in construction
Oh,
management
really?
too.
Yeah,
Yep,
they
yep.
have a great program. We've even thought about maybe doing a scholarship specifically through Ferris, just for that program. But yeah, I mean, and that program has great safety training as well. So we really like to support that, you know.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Right in our back.
Gotta help the Bulldogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a little dual partnership, huh? Support the alumni, right?
Right.
Yes.
No, I mean, those are all great. I mean, just fantastic. I mean, you don't hear about going to a bunch of administration and all that. I mean, you guys are definitely putting the money that you're getting is all to great uses. I mean, for
and
sure.
we're all pretty much working. The volunteers, we're all volunteers. No one's getting a salary in our nonprofit. We're all just doing this because we care.
Yeah.
Because this is important to us. We meet
near and dear to your heart.
every couple of weeks. We have a board meeting. We're very giving of our time because this is really important to us. We're passionate about it. We're passionate about trying to prevent people from experiencing the tragedy that we've experienced. And my family's great. We're very close. I mean, you went to school with Michael.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get a little taste of that Fons family, I mean, you guys were at the golf outing. We're kind of thick as thieves.
Yep,
You know what I
yep.
mean? Where we all support each other. We all. When we get passionate about something, we kind of go full force. So, that's a big piece for us, is making sure all the funds go to truck safety, go to supporting our cause, So
How can, what about like, the audience, the public, what can we do to help just spread the awareness?
So we kind of have a little hashtag called Drive Aware and Share.
Okay.
All right.
So that
Johnny
kinda,
put it up on the screen.
So that kind of encompasses what we kind of hope people are doing. So first and foremost, drive aware. Know who you're sharing the roads with. We don't want you to be scared. Get where you need to get going. Don't avoid it. But, when you're sharing the road with trucks, be aware that they need greater stopping distance.
Right.
Yeah. Be aware that they don't have
Well, it's why
great
you see in the
visibility.
back of even like semis, like stay 100 feet back, right? Give me some space.
Yeah.
Exactly. And people are so used to seeing those signs that they don't even notice them anymore
become
on the
white
truck.
noise.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
So that's not a very good reminder, because people just kind of, everyone's tunnel vision. How many times have you driven home and like said, how'd I get home?
No,
That's true.
it's very true.
So, just being more
that was
aware.
fast.
Yeah.
Well, life's fast paced.
Right.
We get that.
Right.
We get that. Most of us are distracted on the road. We're thinking about what we have to do next. We all lead very fast paced lives,
Right.
So, we're just hoping that people maybe see our signs. Maybe you have a little key ring that we have, that says Dave Fons Memorial Fund. Maybe you have a decal on your car, or see a car going by that has one of our decals. We're just trying to kind of be more visible to remind people that, just drive safely. Know the risks that trucks pose and try to be more aware of it. Try not to take the risk. Try not to make a light if there's a truck that's coming that, can't stop, those kinds of things. And then share our social media posts, share with us stuff too. So if you see a truck not operating safely, feel free to reach out to us or feel free to reach out to local law enforcement. Report those things, because if you don't report it, the next time they're not operating safely could be a time that they kill someone,
Right.
So I know it takes a little bit of time out of your day, but you can report those trucks, and hold companies, liable for trucks that are not operating safely. Those kinds of things are huge in the area of truck safety. And also reach out to us if there are questions, areas of need, we are always looking to do more, we have these great fundraising events, and every year they're bigger, better. We raise more money. So we have the flexibility to do more. So if you have ideas for us, please shoot us an email, go to our website, contact us. The more that we can do to help is really important. If you know a victim of a truck crash, please, if there's a way that we can help that family,
reach out.
We want to. We want to be a resource for people that have a truck accident. One thing that we learned when my dad had his accident is there's a lot to be done after a truck accident. And, you are so traumatized by the truck accident that you're not thinking clearly, but there's a really small window that you have to get the truck accident investigated. You have to, figure out what went on, just for liability reasons, making sure that if someone was at fault, that they're held accountable, things that you really don't think about before you're faced with this. And luckily we had some really great people looking over us at that time, and we were able to do what we needed to do. But we know a lot of these families maybe don't have the resources to do it, maybe don't have knowledge about what they should be doing after a truck accident. So we want to be a resource for them as well. So if you know someone affected by it, definitely connect us or have them reach out to us. There's really no limit in what we're willing to help with. If there's a need in the area of truck safety, we're going to make it happen. So
it's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, there it is. You guys got some cool things in the future that you guys are working on or anything like that? What the future may hold?
Yeah. So we're working on a few things. One is we're trying to expand our veterans scholarship a little bit. We're looking into like technical schools, heavy equipment operation schools, those kinds of things. We really want to help the veteran population. I used to work at the VA hospital when I was in grad school. I really like that population. My dad's dad was a veteran. It's kind of a near and dear to our heart thing. So, and a lot of veterans go into the trades field. So we're trying to expand that scholarship a little bit. We're trying to expand our education piece. We want to make like educational videos for either showing at truck schools or like safety trainings on our website, online, YouTube, that kind of thing. So that's a big piece. And we're trying to get more involved in advocacy in terms of like law change. I work with the Institute for Safer Trucking. As I mentioned before, Truck Safety Coalition is another big national organization, Road Safe America.
Yep.
I've started working with those organizations in just terms of helping change the laws. Like I said, a little balance, but being a voice for our organization and what we want to see maybe changed is really important. And there might be things that people can do, like contacting their state representatives would be a good way if you want laws changed. So if you guys, see something that maybe isn't safe about trucks, maybe there's a law that could be changed to make it safer. Reach out to us. We can help connect you with your local representatives and maybe have a conversation with them about how we could help them support truck safety. That's great too.
A lot of good things.
Heck yeah.
We always talk about it all the time. Any chance you get to help a veteran it's a good day.
Yeah, really. I mean, especially now. I mean, there's so many people trying to get back on their feet, after this whole pandemic and stuff.
Right.
But veterans, just really helping them get back on their feet is really important to us. Getting them, there's hurdles that they face,
Right.
that are sometimes harder than, just the general population.
Right.
So we want to.
Which shouldn't even be a case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should be
Honestly.
able to get more help than what they're getting.
You're right.
Sending money overseas, why don't we take care of our own people first, huh? Be a lot smarter. I think it would just be common sense. But anyways, we'll not talk about that. Yeah.
It's a lost thing.
It
Common
is.
sense.
Yeah. Gone. But no, that's awesome. It is always good. So you guys are doing some big things.
Yeah. I mean, and we want to keep doing big things. So we're very excited about what the future holds. We're so grateful for opportunities like this, talking to you guys and spreading our message, because that really helps people find out about us. We're grateful for all the support. I mean, gosh, the support we've gotten. We're constantly overwhelmed by people that, like you guys, not even in the trucking industry, just come to one of our events and kind of spark an interest, and you guys have supported us. I mean, we just really are so grateful for people trusting, us and the work that we're doing. So,
well, it's contagious when you do things the right way, when you do it, obviously from your heart, right? Obviously you've had a personal experience that led to the establishment of the Dave Fons Memorial Fund. So, I mean, it's attractive. The realness, the what your guys' message is, what you're working for, what you're doing, how you're helping. I mean, you can't but just say like, yeah, let's somewhat, how, I don't know how, any way, let's be a part of it, right?
Yeah.
Let's help.
Well, and I mean,
spread the message.
Even if you're not in the trucking industry, there are things you can do just by sharing,
right.
You know what I mean? Our organization, because you never know who it's going to get to,
right.
You never know.
Well, it's the power of social media too, right? Like, I mean, who knows where this will lead? Hopefully, some down, time, either in a week or a month or something. There's hopefully a connection that, like, hey, we heard about them, and I got connected. Someone will reach out to you, or whatever. Probably just as passionate and like, I want to help.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on board and help in any way. So, I mean.
And we're always happy to have volunteers. If you want to help, we're not going to turn you away.
Right. Yeah.
We want
we're
you.
All volunteers too.
Right. Yeah.
We want you. So always, if it sparks a passion in you and you want to help and you have the time to help, definitely reach out to us. We'll put you to work.
And how can they reach out to you if?
So they can go to our website, which is www.trucksafetyfordavefons.org. I'm sure we'll link it here.
Boom. There it is on the screen.
And we also have a Facebook page and an Instagram page, which is at Truck Safety or at Dave Fons Memorial Fund. And then we're on LinkedIn. And you can also email me directly at hello@trucksafetyfordavefons.org.
I like that.
Yeah,
Hello.
I know. I was just thinking that. It's so much more inviting than info.
Info.
Yeah.
Admin.
Right,
Yeah.
Hello.
And it's easy to remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, is that your actual email, or did you just say hello to me?
Right.
No,
Yeah. It is.
Hello. I love it. I might have to use that one.
You
Might
can
have to
steal it.
that.
You can steal it.
The admin changed that to hello.
Hello.
Hi, at.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
No.
Yeah, I have to give the credit actually to Mike's sister, Ashley. She was the one that suggested using hello.
Hello?
She does like social media marketing.
Okay.
She's in marketing, so
That's
Smart.
sketchy.
I couldn't think of anything, so she's the one that suggested hello. So I got to give her the shout out on that.
It's a good little piece. Well, good. Well, hey, I mean, we just want to say thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
You guys just coming on board, and I know we've, just to have you guys come on and share your message. We're honored to have you guys here for sure.
Well, we're honored to be here. We really appreciate the opportunity. It was fun, not as nerve-wracking as I thought.
See, I told you. Everyone always says, like, I don't know, that's a little out of my element. Trust me.
Yeah.
You should have seen Devon on the first show. No?
Yeah, right. I know. I'm shaking.
Are we done? 10 minutes? Okay, good.
I'm done.
No, but it's been good. So obviously, guys, if you want to reach out, we'll have the information on the show to reach out to Courtney or the rest of the team at the Dave Fons Memorial fun. Mm-hmm. And we look forward to, we're going to win next year.
Next year, we're going to win.
It was our first year in the golf outing.
Yeah.
And so you're always kind of mindful, like, well, how low are these guys going to go here, right?
There's no way we're even close right now.
You didn't know how much you needed to win by, how good you needed to play.
So if you play in outings, like I play in a decent amount regularly, right? And so we know where the winning score always is. Like, all right, we got to get to 15, 16, 17 to win. That's usually where always the winning score is. So when you play in the first time in an outing, you're like, oh, what's the quality golfers here? And it's funny because when we were talking before, like, they got boots on, man. Yeah. Work boots. So if we would have saw that, I'm sure, probably a little lower. But, yeah, we're coming back for
absolutely.
The vengeance of bringing that trophy home.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a nice trophy.
You'd be surprised. Those construction workers can give you a run for your money.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, it's
sometimes those scores come in, and I'm like, wow, I would have never thought they shot that good.
Right.
You know, working in construction, I'm sure you got
They're
some.
strong upper body.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got a little secret.
Those levers.
Yeah. Some secret strength that, real estate guy doesn't have.
Right.
So they might not have the greatest swing, but they can pound the ball a mile.
Well, shoot, the guy in front of us got the longest drive, and man, he crushed it.
Really?
I mean, it was like,
Well, every time
How
we
is it
came
that
up to
far?
him, you can just tell, like, this dude can pipe it.
yeah.
The sound is a little different.
Yeah.
Man, it was impressive. It was impressive.
Yeah. No, it was a good time. It really was. Looking forward to it right next year.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we'll put the fishing trip
Yeah.
down in
It's
Florida
always
on the
like,
calendar.
I think it's like the third weekend in September.
Okay.
I think is how it works out. Too. We always like it around like mid-September. So just block all your weekends in September next year so you can make it.
That's it.
It's worth it.
2022, here we come. I'll get them to go.
You can go up to Disney too. Just
I
rent a
know.
car, go up to Disney, bring the
It's
whole
not
family.
No.
Lots to do.
Yeah. Naples is not far.
Yeah, Everglades.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's
Get
a
eaten
lot
by
to
an
do.
alligator, you know? You never know.
Get a python.
Hey,
Never know.
you're the fisher, man. Yeah, I'm bringing you to win.
Not me.
Yeah.
I'm rusty. No. All my stuff has dust on it. I told you when Kyle was here, my boat gets washed more than it gets used. But no, I mean it's a great organization.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
We're happy to be a part of it, and the little way that we are of just we look. I mean, obviously we're gonna put the events on our calendar and help support you guys as much as we can. And
Thank you. We appreciate
again,
it.
thank you so much for coming
yes,
on.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it was another good one.
Yep.
Well, I'm Paul Seguin with eXp Realty,
And I'm Devin Carr with Gold Star Mortgage.
and this is the Carr and Seguin Show.
See ya.
The primary purpose of this podcast series is to inform, entertain, and educate. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast series do not constitute legal or professional advice, opinions, or endorsements of any kind. Gold Star Mortgage Financial Group, NMLS 3446, Equal Housing Lender.